Welcome to my series on the 7 pillars to this third dimension. Today I'm going to talk about the 4 states of health. If you haven't seen the introduction and the other 3, I'm going to leave a link in the description below. Go ahead and check it out, and then you can come back and watch this one after. In the 4 states of health, we have the 4 different health states, which are coherent health, chemical health, corporal health, and currency health. Coherent health deals with what's going on up here in our mind, the things we think about, where we actually live most of the time. One of the 2 realities that we have is the physical reality and the vibrational reality. Vibrational reality has a lot to do with the mental part of it. That's why for the 4 states of health, the first one I think that's really important is the coherent health. The coherent health also helps to link our thoughts to our physical reality. We tend to go through the different stages of bringing our thoughts to reality, even though most of the time we don't think about it like that. We have the thoughts that go through our head about what it is that we are seeing, feeling, tasting, touching, and stuff, our 5 senses. And that's where we live most of the time. But what's also there is our emotion. It's our understanding, it's our interpretation of what reality is. So whatever it is that you are feeling, whatever it is that you're thinking, whatever it is that you think is possible, is first determined by the coherency between your head and your heart, really. The new thing is brain heart coherency that shows that there is a link between the 2. The second state of health is your chemical health. Now, most people know about nutrition and that it's good to eat certain things or not to eat certain things and what have you. This is not something that I'm going to be going into a great deal because a lot of different people have different aspects of what that is. But there are certain things that we can all agree on. Certain things that says, should we eat one thing versus another? For everyone, our bodies basically react the same way unless we have either some abnormality or something else going on. And that is a chemical process that happens inside of our body. We can aid that chemical process by giving the body the right amount of nutrition that our individual body requires. And so the reason I'm mentioning chemical health is because in talking about mindfulness, which is a part of the 5 guiding principles, we also have to be mindful about what we eat and how we eat it. And to realize that even the things that we eat offers different levels of vibration that our body require. The next health is corporal health. Corporal health is the thing that you see on the outside. And because this has to do with our body, it's the physicalness of what we have. Now, we all have different body types, body shape, and you name it. However, we are not in control of exactly what the body does, But what we are in control of is what we do to aid our corporal health. Things like movement, relaxation, just getting the adequate amount of sleep is important. Most of us know our body is our temple. Unfortunately, for what's going on nowadays, a lot of us don't treat our body as such. And so we need to incorporate different types of movements. Now, for those of us who are not doing some form of athletics sports or competition where you are training the body, we need core basic movements. Things like Pilates, yoga, walking, swimming, stuff that you could even consider as spiritual movements. In certain parts of society, whether it's in the US, Eastern or Western philosophy, they'll incorporate some form of those movements. It might not have the same name to it, but they're considered spiritual movements because you are mindful of all the different moves that you perform, right? And so therefore you have the different types of spiritual movements that we require. Movement also connects our mind to our body and to our chemical system, because movement helps in digestion, movement helps with stress, and movement helps with rest, which is what our body uses for repair and just to make sure that it's adequate to carry us through the journey that we do. The fourth one is called currency health. So in currency health, I've spoken about medium of exchange. And really that's what currency is. It's just that we have different valuations for this currency. So we're all exchanging something. And I know I've mentioned this in the other videos about the medium of exchange. Right now, I am outside in nature and I am exchanging with nature. We are always transforming something. That is our medium of exchange. We are always thinking about something. That's also another form of exchange. We utilize or consume, and we also contribute or give to different forms of society. So the currency that we utilize for that medium of exchange is what's really at play here. For some people, they're able to use a stored value of that currency. And a stored value could be considered like money or other physical items. While for some, it's not something that we store physically that we can see. It can be energy. Being able to sit with someone and, either encouraging them, laughing with them, being around them just to make them a little happier. That's a form of medium of exchange, and that's also currency. Just that unfortunately in our society today, we don't really think about things like those as currency. So currency and your medium of exchange is the fourth type of health that we need to consider. So how do you bring these four states of health together. If you have, and I'm going to use the word unhealthy state of currency health, that affects your mental. So let's say, for instance, you don't consider yourself abundant because society's view of stored wealth is one thing, and you have something else, then you might get stressed out. That stress may lead to you not putting in the right nutrition in your body for your body to have the right processes to make sure that it's healthy. Then you might feel lazy and lethargic and you don't move. So one thing just propels to another. So we have to have all four in balance. You can use an example where it may start with someone not liking the way in which their corporeal health is. So they don't like the shape of their body. And that then feeds into the other one, and it all becomes another loop, another cycle. We also have people who think differently. Some are labeled as autistic. Some are labeled as mental health, depression or anxiety. We all think in various ways, and some things affect us more than other things. If that's where the imbalance is, then it can lead to imbalances in the other states, right? So one has to start to recognize within themselves what their limitation is. Because we all have different limitations. Because we all didn't come here with the same talents and the same gifts. So we are all going to have some form of limitation. What we need to start doing is to recognize that each person's limitation is really a gift to us, because it means that they're really good in something else that we're not. And so instead of us concentrating on the differences as the bad thing, we should consider the differences as stuff that we can use to help us lead a more fulfilled life. So that's all I have to say for the 4 states of health. We'll go into more detail in each one later on, where I'll give examples and stuff. So until next time, goodbye.